What's going on, Jeromes? It is a beautiful Friday, and your Minnesota Vikings are 1-0, and they open up the home schedule of the 2024 season, historic U.S. Bank Stadium against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, people will laugh when we say that this is a clash of NFC Titans. Could this possibly be an NFC Championship game preview? It's a little premature. It's a little premature, but we will certainly get to that point. And yes, all the storylines. Shanahan versus O'Connell, two of the best young offensive minds in the game. Slinging Sam Darnold, America's quarterback, formerly of the San Francisco 49ers. Josh Dobbs is the 49ers QB3. So there's a lot of things going on. Two physical-ass teams, and it's going to be a hell of a game. It's absolutely going to be a hell of a game. So here are 10 keys for the Vikings to get out of Sunday with a victory. Moved to 2-0 in the season and a full-on statement game. Yeah, all the haters and losers say like, blah, 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 it's the Giants. And, hey, if and when the Vikings beat the 49ers, they'll be like, oh, McCaffrey didn't play. Or McCaffrey is limited. Whatever, man. First up, got to match your physicality. So respect. In all phases, the San Francisco 49ers are tough. They are physical. They're an old school meat and potatoes type team, and the Vikings got to bring that. And to be honest, like I do think that Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi have sort of modeled their roster after the 49ers. Of course, Kwesi coming from the John Lynch GM tree, formerly of San Francisco before he went to Cleveland. So he understands, like, that's why the Vikings have made such moves along the front seven. Frankly, Vikings front seven is looking pretty damn good. And offensive line-wise, like, yeah, absolutely love me some Blake Brandel from week one, even though we put him in the loser category because he had a penalty. We have high standards around here. Hopefully Ed Ingram can get something going. Hopefully Bradbury's knee will be good to go as well. But you have to match your physicality, especially in the trenches. Otherwise, they're going to bury you, right? And I do think that the Vikings, that's why they made a concerted effort in training camp this year to be a little bit more physical in their padded practices. So this is what they're preparing for, games like this. And here's the thing, like, good teams can beat the Giants. Great teams can beat the 49ers. And we'll decide if the Vikings want to be good or great. Number two, contain the runs. So even if McCaffrey goes or if he doesn't go, it doesn't really matter. Either way, the Niners' offensive line, they're legit, right? TBD what happens with Aaron Banks, their starting left guard. But Trent Williams is a stud. Dominic Pooney, the rookie, is fantastic. McKivitz is also there. Oh, that's where Ben Barch ended up. Private St. John's. He drank those gross protein shakes. But yeah, the Vikings, they got to be able to match up front, right? And it doesn't matter if it's McCaffrey, it doesn't matter if it's Jordan Mason. I mean, I'm actually a little bit more concerned about Jordan Mason because if McCaffrey plays, he's going to be limited. And Mason is an absolute pile driver, man. Like, battering ram. Just what the Vikings have to do is they just got to play football. And as simplistic as that sounds, that's exactly what they have to do. And like we said, this front seven, they're tough. And, guys like Tillery, Phillips, Bullard, this is what they're brought in for, to fill their gaps and stop the run, fly around and make plays. So play your assigned gaps, play downhill, play fast and physical, and make your run fits like a bat out of hell, man. Like, this is a tailor-made Ivan Pace Jr. game. Like, this is hey, I'm going to meet Jordan Mason in the A and B gap over and over and over again, and may the best man win. That's what it's going to come down to, man. Like, if you like old school football, this is going to be your game. Next up, number 3, go H-A-N. Number 3, get home with 4. So Brock Purdy. So he's pretty damn good. All right, so I understand that people like to say that he's a system quarterback. I fully understand that. He's an extension of Shanahan on the field. Fully understand that. But he's got to make the plays, got to make the throws, and he does do that. And also, his ADOT is top 5. So he's definitely chucking downfield. But last year, Brock Purdy's quarterback rating dropped 40.3 points when pressured. Also, we talked about getting home with 4 because Purdy was PFF's second highest grade quarterback last year versus the blitz. Josh Allen was number 1. Because remember, as evidenced by the NFC title game against the Lions, Brock Purdy can run. All right, so that's part of it. And the Vikings, I thought they did a great job at containing Daniel Jones' mobility and making him stay in the pocket and throw. And getting home with 4, like we said, that's exactly what Flores wants to do. He doesn't want to have to blitz 51% of the time. So playing games up front, bluffing, and trying to confuse this offensive line and just trying to make something work, it's going to be tough. Like AVG, Jonathan Grenard had 5 pressures, led the team against the Giants. Diamond Dallas Turner, can he be more efficient in the pass rush game? Can Patrick Jones II build on his 2-sack game? How about Hottie Ward all over the place? So also, I do think that this is going to be Levi Drake Rodriguez type game. Just play more of a even front, 4-man front, and have LDR in that B gap. Blow it up. Let's go from there, man. We after that ass, Brocky. That's right. Next up, number 4. Keep Aiyuk rusty. So Brandon Aiyuk, of course, all the drama in the offseason. Got so boring. But either way, signed his deal, and he didn't look great week 1 against the Jets. Of course, Sauce Gardner was a part of that too, but 2 catches for 28 yards on 5 targets against New York. But remember, Brandon Aiyuk basically is the deep threat weapon of this offense. Now, there's tons of playmakers all over the place, yes, but basically Aiyuk is the deep threat because he had a 14.6 average depth of target, and if Purdy's looking deep, he's looking for Aiyuk. So got to be able to take that away. And the Vikings defense was looking really damn good. Yes, it was against the Giants, but frankly, Malik Neighbors, like, they gave him a lot of hype and gave him his flowers. He had like 1 decent catch on Gilmore on 3rd down. But overall, like, Gilmore, Shaq, Murph, all looking fantastic. Of course, the trio of safeties shaking. So trying to erase Aiyuk, basically making everyone else beat you underneath. Go ahead. Next up, number 5, you have to run the ball. So, again, I understand that this San Francisco 49ers front is fantastic. You know, whether it's Bosa or Collins, Hargrave, Leonard Floyd's a monster as well. You know, former Gopher Devondre Campbell, Fred Warner's one of the best off-ball linebackers in the game. But you do have to try and get things done up front, and keeping play action viable, as well as setting the pace, setting the tempo, and keeping the offense on the field. That's the name of the game. And Aaron Jones ran for 94 yards, 6.7 yards per attempt against the Giants. And it is like getting blood from a stone against the 49ers, but mixing things up. Gap, power, counter, zone, a couple jet sweeps. They've shown a lot of interesting motion and action with Justin Jefferson. Can you build off that? How about the RPO looks? And also taking advantage of Sam Darnold. Underrated mobility. Absolutely. So you got to be able to make something happen on the ground against San Francisco. Next up, number 6, Justin Jefferson is him. Right now, it's so weird where Jefferson has a quiet game against the Giants. 4 catches of 59 yards and a touchdown on 6 targets. He was still the number 1 targeted receiver on the Vikings, but that is pretty quiet for a Jefferson game. But I do think that he's going to bust out. Addison, very unlikely to play. But guys like Jalen Naylor, Tristan Jackson, Brandon Powell, Sherfield going to have to step up as well. And yeah, I mean, the Niners defense is legit. But if Hufanga doesn't go, like, he's trending towards potentially returning week 2, we'll see. But the rest of the secondary outside of Charvarius Ward, like, you can make some hay. And Ward's probably going to be shadowing Jefferson most of the day, but bring it. Bring it. Whether it's double, triple team, bracketing him, safety help over the top, someone else is going to shred you. And also, I think Jefferson, like, Jets steps up in big time games, and this is a massive game for Sunday at noon. Next up, number 7, offensive line backs up the hype. So Darisaw and O'Neal, respect. They put Thibodeau and Burns in witness protection. They're going to have to do that damn thing again, because that San Francisco pass rush, even though they don't have Armstead anymore, it's prodigious. Javon Hargrave is a monster. Leonard Floyd can still get after things. We'll see if Yetur Gross-Meadows plays. Of course, you got Nick Bosa, right? So 49ers can bring the heat, and also they're not dumb. Like, they're going to be targeting the interior offensive line of the Vikings, whether it's Bradbury or Ed Ingram. So it's got to be a group effort. And, Darisaw has to keep Darnold clean yet again. Same thing with O'Neal. Hopefully that elbow doesn't bother him, but you got to bring it. Next up, number 8. Win the turnover battle. So the Vikings were even last week against the Giants, 2 for 2. Can't have a push. You have to win. You got to take one away from San Francisco. Purdy will give it to you. Like, Purdy will put that thing up in the air every now and then. But also, you can't make mistakes against a good team. I love the way that the Vikings rallied after the C.J. Ham fumble. I mean, that happens. That was just a great tackle. There was nothing on C.J. But I respect that they didn't quicksand, that they didn't turtle, that they didn't, or like, oh, here we go again. But you can't make mistakes. You have to play near perfect football and get a little bit lucky to beat a team like the 49ers, even at home. That's right. Number 9, Darnold become America's quarterback. Oh, say Sam Darnold. That's right, man. Now, by America's quarterback, I mean just take what's there. Like, you don't have to be a hero. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And yes, the San Francisco 49ers defense is legit. Is absolutely legit. But if this offensive line can keep you clean, if they can run the ball, if Jefferson is going to be Superman himself, you can get after the secondary. And of course, slinging Sam Darnold playing scout team quarterback up against his defense every day, like a lot of the same parts are here from last year. And of course, DeMar Lenore talked about, oh, Sam Darnold threw me the ball all the time in practice. Shut up. Shut your face, man. So this is going to be a key opportunity for Darnold to prove that he is indeed the guy. Lastly, number 10, feed off the crowd. So I'm fired up for Vikings fans. Going to be loud and proud, and the glass, the bird-killing glass at US Bank Stadium is going to shake and rumble, and it's going to be deafening, especially on third down for what? Aaron Jones looking forward to them doing the skull chant. That's right. So this is it, man. Right. So there's a lot to like about this team, and a win over the Niners, the reigning, defending, alleged NFC champions, would be the exclamation point. It would be proof to all the haters and losers that this is absolutely a team that you have to take seriously. All right. So final score prediction. I think this is a tough game. I do think that Jefferson gets loose. I think he goes for like 8 for 100 and a touchdown. I think that the Vikings are able to have a nice running back by committee. I think defensively, they're able to pressure Brock Purdy. I think that they win the turnover battle. But still, even with all that, I think this is going to be a tough-ass game. Whether McCaffrey plays or not, the Niners are probably going to be able to run the ball. Debo's an X factor as well, whether he's in the backfield, jet sweeps, all that stuff. I do think that Aiyuk is probably going to be a little bit rusty. Again, it happens, man, but it comes down to one play. It comes down to one play, and will the thrill rock herd hits a 54-yarder at the gun. Vikings win 26-24. Will the thrill coming? Will the thrill coming? Right, Ben. But that's it. Your thoughts are thoughts. What's your final score prediction? What are your keys? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. Until next time, Skull Production Value.